Hello everyone, my name is Prloxx, also known as Caleb here, bringing you a Minecraft Redstone tutorial. Let me demonstrate how this works, and then I'll shortly be telling you how to set this up for your own single-player world or adventure map. So essentially, got this nice little woods here, and there's this random furnace, and looks like a bunch of people starved to death. I mean, my raw beef and my raw pork chop isn't going to feed me very much, so I wonder if I can just chuck it into the fire and maybe it will cook a little bit. Look at that, nice and cooked. Let's do it with my beef now because I like to have as much pork as I have steak. Oh yes, look at this. And let's go one at a time here because don't want to lose all my meat. You know, if you cook too much. You know, we'll cook a little bit more steak. Wonderful. Alright guys, so let me teach you how to set up this nice little meat cooking trick. First, let me get rid of the meat. It's really simple. Actually, before I get too far into this, there was already a guy who made this kind of concept, and his name's Henrik SB. I'll link his specific video on this concept in the description. The thing that he did is he looked for a player that was near a certain block, so he would have the command blocks like right under that netherrack, and the command blocks would be looking for a player who had their slot bar, wow, slot bar. They had their hot bar, which is this thing at the bottom with the 9 slots. He was looking for someone who was at this slot that I'm at right now, the 1 key slot, and that was holding raw pork chops. And that would give him a cooked pork chops. You know, he held it over the fire and it cooked, which seems more logical than mine. Except I don't like how you have to have a specific type of meat in a specific slot of your inventory. I like the ability to throw down the food. Um, so let me explain how I did mine. Now, I was lazy and I kind of put the command blocks over here, even though I really could have scooched them underneath this fireplace. But, you know, we have a simple comparator clock. The comparator's turned on while it's activated by a full source of redstone. Thus, it subtracts energy from itself to pulse. And then it looks like enough redstone or command blocks or whatever to confuse you know, the beginner redstoner. But really, you just need 3 command blocks for every single type of meat. So this command block is looking for a raw pork chop that is within, I think, this general area, you know, like up on these blocks and maybe this block as well. And if it finds that block, then it will emit a signal into these comparators. This will kill the item. So, you know, if it doesn't end up in the fire, it will still get deleted from the game. And this will give the player nearest to this general area a pork chop. Now, I was playing with this, and for some reason, there's something going on with /summon where you can't. Hang on, let me demonstrate. Summon, cook, or no, let's do summon item relative with myself, and the item is going to have an ID of Minecraft cooked pork chop. And now, see, I cannot pick it up. You can also see that it's missing a pixel right there, as it is in a few other spots as well. I have a feeling I probably entered the command wrong, or there's a tag I did not enter that makes it so I can pick it up. But this is kind of awkward. This is even actually in snapshot 27B because I didn't like the new chunk loading in 29B, so I came down to the most recent version I played, which was 27B before I tried 29B. But yeah, that's the problem with that. Let me just quickly get rid of it. There we go. So yeah, and then, so that's why I did a give instead of a, oh, call it, a summon. Now, of course, if you wanted to, you'd have to make this block slightly slower than this block, but you could have this block do an execute command that finds an item, so, it'd be the raw pork chop, and then it gives a player within a certain radius of that item, which would be the meat, the new meat, before it kills the item. Because before, I tried to do the summon, and then I tried to do the execute, but this block ended up always being first for some reason, meaning this one never actually worked because there was no item that it could find to get the relative coordinates and the radius and all that jazz. So I went with this for now because I'm only in single player, so therefore it doesn't really matter all that much. If you're in multiplayer though, I highly recommend doing the execute command, and I might put that in the description. Basically what you would have to do is you have to move this and then just take a repeater, which is going to look bugged because of the snapshot. Ignore it. And that's a quarter of a tick, I believe. Yeah, because if you put that all the way back, it's one whole tick. So yeah, this is a quarter of a tick, and this block will always go after this block. However, I'm going to have it back to my original setup because, like I said, it's single player, so don't need it to be multiplayer friendly. Also, this is literally the same exact thing, but I changed all the pork chop labels to steak. So there you guys have it. You could really do this for anything. You could even put in like, rotten flesh and get back, Lord knows what. You could make it so you put in rotten flesh and it gives you leather. This could work for all sorts of things. You could essentially recreate the furnace. By the way, I also want to make the point that because I did it in a general area and not by a fire block, which I don't remember if Henrik made it so you had to be near fire or if he just had it programmed to one specific block. But, with mine, you can kind of just put out the fire and put a furnace there instead and maybe break this. Oh, that looks bad. Oops. And that's, okay, whatever. And this is, still the same concept. You take yourself a raw pork chop, you toss it down, you still get a cooked pork chop. So, yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching, and hopefully this will be helpful. I know a couple of my subscribers have been asking about adventure map stuff. Speaking of which, my PvP map that I built with the This Is Legit members, known as Tip the Balance, is done and completed. It is up for download, and I will have that link in the description as well. So thank you guys again for watching, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. I shall see you all later.